Hey Pisces, I need to share something with you today that came through in this reading, and honestly, it's been sitting with me because the energy is so clear and so specific to what you're going through right now. So I sat down with my deck this morning and I had this intention for you. I was thinking about Pisces energy and what you've been navigating lately, and the cards that came through, they told such a complete story. I'm going to walk you through what showed up because I think you need to hear this. Before we get into the cards, let me just say this. If you've been feeling like someone has been trying to mess with your peace, trying to plant seeds of doubt or fear in your mind, trying to make you question yourself or your path, this reading is going to make so much sense to you. Because what I'm seeing here is that, yes, there's someone who's been attempting to do exactly that. But here's the thing, Pisces, you're not the one who's blocked. You're actually the one who's going to free yourself and everyone involved from this entire dynamic. And the cards are showing me exactly how that's going to unfold. Let me start pulling these cards for you. The first card that came out, and this set the tone for everything, was the Moon. Now, when I saw this card, I immediately understood what's been happening in your energy field. The Moon is about illusions, confusion, things hidden in shadows, anxieties that creep in when you're not sure what's real and what's being projected onto you. Someone in your orbit, Pisces, has been operating in this shadowy space. They've been working behind the scenes, not necessarily in a direct confrontational way, but in a subtle way. This is someone who plants a comment here, a doubt there, a little question mark about your decisions, your relationships, your worth. And the Moon is showing me that this has been creating a fog around you. You felt it. Maybe you couldn't quite put your finger on what was happening or who was doing it, but you've sensed that something wasn't quite right. The energy has felt murky. You've been questioning things you normally wouldn't question. That's the Moon energy, when someone else is projecting their fears and insecurities onto you. But here's what's important about this card showing up first. The Moon also represents intuition and psychic awareness. And Pisces, your intuition has been screaming at you. Even when you couldn't see clearly what was happening, you felt it. Your gut has been telling you that something's off, that someone's energy toward you isn't clean. And that intuitive knowing is what's going to guide you out of this fog. The Moon is telling me that you've been in a period where things felt uncertain, where maybe you've been doubting yourself because of what this person has been insinuating or suggesting. But the Moon also illuminates. It might cast shadows, but it also lights up the night sky. And you're about to see very clearly what's been hidden from you. The illusions are about to drop away. You're going to understand exactly who has been trying to manipulate your perception and why they've been doing it. This card is validating that yes, something has been going on in the shadows, you're not imagining it. But it's also promising you that clarity is coming. And when it does, you're going to see the whole picture with such precision that no one will ever be able to gaslight you about this situation again. The next card that appeared was Justice. And Pisces, when this card came right after the Moon, I actually got chills. Because Justice is the card of truth, balance, karma, and things being set right. After a period of confusion and manipulation, Justice swoops in to restore order. This card is telling me that there is a reckoning coming. Whatever this person has been trying to do to you, whatever doubts they've tried to plant, whatever fears they've tried to create in your mind, it's all going to come to light. And not just come to light, but there will be consequences. Justice doesn't play around. This is the card that says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What they've put out into the universe towards you, what they've tried to do to your peace and your mental clarity, that energy is going to return to them and you're going to witness it. Justice is also about truth being revealed in a way that cannot be denied. So if this person has been subtle about their manipulations, if they've been playing innocent while simultaneously undermining you, that mask is going to come off. Other people are going to see it too. You might have felt alone in noticing this person's energy, but Justice is telling me that the truth will become so obvious that everyone will understand what's been happening. This card is also about you standing in your power and your truth. Justice appears when you're ready to draw a line, when you're ready to say no more, when you're ready to demand fair treatment and honest dealings. And Pisces, you're at that point now. You've absorbed enough of this person's projections. You've questioned yourself enough. Justice is here to tell you that you don't have to accept this treatment anymore. And in fact, the universe is backing you up in establishing boundaries and demanding respect. This card often appears in legal matters or situations where contracts and agreements need to be honored. So if there's any formal aspect to this situation, know that things will work out in your favor. But beyond that, justice is simply about restoring balance. This person has been taking your peace. Justice is going to give it back to you and then some. Then I pulled King of Cups, and this card is so important to understanding your role in all of this. The King of Cups is the master of emotional intelligence. This is someone who has deep feelings but has learned to manage them wisely. This is someone who doesn't get swept away by every emotional current, but instead observes their emotions and the emotions of others with wisdom and compassion. Pisces, this is you. Despite what this person has been trying to do, despite the attempts to destabilize you emotionally, you've been maintaining your composure, you've been the mature one. The King of Cups doesn't react from a place of hurt or anger, they respond from a place of emotional mastery. And that's exactly what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do. This card is showing me that while this other person has been operating from fear and insecurity, trying to project those feelings onto you, you've been operating from a place of emotional depth and stability. You haven't stooped to their level, you haven't engaged in the same manipulative tactics, you've held your center. The King of Cups is also about healing. This card appears when someone has the capacity not just to heal themselves, but to hold space for others to heal too. And here's where this gets really interesting. In relation to your question, you asked about someone trying to plant fears in someone else, about there being a blockage, and about you being the one who frees it. The King of Cups is confirming that yes, you are the healer in this situation, but you're not going to heal this by fixing the other person or by convincing them of anything. You're going to heal this situation by remaining in your emotional truth and not allowing their projections to become your reality. Your emotional stability, your refusal to engage in the drama, your commitment to staying centered, that's what's going to break through the blockage. Because what they're doing isn't really about you. It's about their own emotional blockages, their own fears, their own insecurities. And by not taking on their stuff, by not making their issues your issues, you're essentially holding up a mirror that's going to force them to look at themselves. That's the healing you're bringing, not by doing anything to them, but by being so grounded in who you are that their manipulations simply don't land. The Star came next, and Pisces, I want you to really hear what this card is saying because it's so hopeful and so powerful. The Star is the card of hope, renewal, healing, and divine guidance. After the storm of the tower, after the confusion of the moon, the Star appears to say you're being guided by something bigger than this situation. You're being protected. You're being led towards something better. This card shows a figure pouring water onto land and into a pool, and it represents the free flow of emotion and truth. After a period where things have felt blocked or murky, the Star is telling you that clarity and emotional freedom are returning. You're going to feel like yourself again. You're going to feel hopeful again. Whatever this person has been trying to make you believe about yourself or your situation, the Star is washing that away. This card is also deeply spiritual. It's about connection to higher guidance, to your angels, to the universe, to whatever you believe in that's greater than yourself. And that connection is what's keeping you protected, even when this person has been trying to dim your light, trying to make you doubt yourself, trying to create fear where there should be peace. You've had this spiritual protection around you. Their efforts haven't actually succeeded in changing who you are at your core. They might have created temporary confusion or discomfort, but they haven't been able to break you. The Star is telling me that you're about to enter a period of beautiful renewal. The fog is lifting, the truth is emerging, and you're going to feel so clear and so connected to your own inner wisdom that what anyone else thinks or says will become almost irrelevant. The Star is also a card of inspiration and creativity. So as you move through this situation and come out the other side, you're going to feel inspired again. Ideas will flow, joy will return, hope will be your dominant emotion instead of confusion or anxiety. This card is such a blessing in this reading because it's promising you that not only will you get through this, but you'll emerge even more connected to your truth and your purpose than you were before. Seven of Swords appeared, and okay, this card is giving me the specifics on what's actually been happening. Seven of Swords is the card of deception, sneakiness, someone operating with a hidden agenda. This is the card of someone who's not being straightforward, who's taking things that don't belong to them, whether that's physical things or energy or peace of mind. When I see Seven of Swords, I know there's someone in this situation who's been playing games. And in your case, Pisces, this confirms what the moon was showing. There has been someone working in the shadows, someone who hasn't been honest with you or about you. This person has been taking something from you without your permission. Maybe they've been taking your words and twisting them. Maybe they've been taking your energy by constantly creating drama or doubt. Maybe they've been stealing your peace by inserting themselves into your thoughts with their manipulations. Seven of Swords is also about strategy, but it's a sneaky strategy. It's not the honorable strategy of someone who's upfront about their intentions. It's the strategy of someone who knows that if they were direct, you'd see right through them and shut them down. So instead, they've been subtle. They've been planting seeds here and there, making little comments, asking questions that seem innocent but are actually designed to make you doubt yourself or others. But here's the thing about Seven of Swords, and this is so important. This card appears when the sneaky behavior is about to be exposed. The figure in the card is tiptoeing away with swords, trying not to be noticed, but they're about to be caught. They can't keep this up forever. The truth has a way of coming out, and Seven of Swords is actually the card that appears right before the exposure happens. So yes, this person has been operating in the shadows. Yes, they've been trying to manipulate the situation to their advantage, but their time is running out. You're about to see exactly what they've been doing, and so is everyone else who matters. And once that happens, they won't be able to continue with their games because the light will be shining directly on their actions. The World card showed up, and Pisces, this is making me emotional because the world is completion, fulfillment, achievement, and wholeness. This is the final card of the major arcana, the card that represents the end of a cycle and the successful completion of a journey. After everything you've been through with this situation, after the confusion and the manipulation and the attempts to throw you off course, the world is showing me that you're about to reach a point of completion and understanding. You're going to close this chapter completely, and not just close it, but do so with a sense of accomplishment and wisdom. The world appears when you've learned the lessons you needed to learn, when you've grown through the challenges, when you're ready to step into a new phase of life with more awareness and strength than you had before. This card is telling me that this situation, as difficult as it's been, has actually been part of your evolution. It's taught you things about yourself, about boundaries, about discernment, about who deserves access to your energy. And now you're graduating from this lesson, you're completing this cycle. The world is also about recognition and success. So not only are you personally reaching a point of completion with this, but others are going to recognize your growth and your wisdom. People are going to see how you handled this situation with grace and emotional maturity. The world often brings opportunities for expansion and new beginnings. So as this chapter closes, something new and better is opening up for you. This could be in relationships, in career, in your spiritual practice, wherever you felt blocked by this situation. The world is saying that blockage is dissolving and you're about to experience a sense of freedom and possibility that you haven't felt in a while. This card is the universe's way of saying, well done, you made it through, you learned what you needed to learn, and now you get to enjoy the fruits of your emotional and spiritual labor. Eight of Wands came flying in, and I use that word intentionally because Eight of Wands is the card of swift movement and rapid developments. After a period where things have felt slow or stuck, where this person's manipulations have created a sense of stagnation or confusion, Eight of Wands is bringing speed. Things are about to happen quickly. The truth is going to come out fast. The situation is going to resolve rapidly. If you've been waiting for clarity or for this dynamic to shift, you won't be waiting much longer. Eight of Wands is like the universe saying, okay, enough is enough, let's move this forward. Now, This card often represents communication, and specifically communication that happens quickly and can't be stopped. So there might be conversations, messages, revelations, or information that comes to light very suddenly. And once this information starts moving, it's going to have a domino effect. One truth will lead to another, and very quickly, the whole picture is going to become clear. Eight of Wands is also about things falling into place. You know how sometimes you're trying to figure something out and it's not making sense, and then suddenly everything clicks and you see how all the pieces fit together? That's what's coming for you. The confusion is going to lift rapidly, and you're going to understand not just what's been happening, but why and what you need to do about it. This card brings a sense of momentum and energy. After feeling like you've been dealing with someone's subtle undermining, you're about to feel empowered and in motion. You're going to take action. You're going to make decisions. You're going to move forward with confidence. And it's all going to happen faster than you expect. Queen of Pentacles appeared, and this card is showing me the outcome of how you handle this situation. The Queen of Pentacles is grounded, practical, nurturing, and abundant. She's someone who has her life together, who creates stability and security for herself and those she cares about, who doesn't get swept up in drama because she's too busy building something real and lasting. Pisces, this is who you're becoming through this experience. Or maybe this is who you already are, and this situation is just reinforcing it. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't waste time on people who aren't genuine. She doesn't give her energy to manipulators or game players. She focuses on what's real, what's productive, what's nourishing, and that's exactly what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do. This person who's been trying to create doubt and fear, they're not Queen of Pentacles energy. They're operating from lack, from insecurity, from a place of feeling like they need to tear others down to build themselves up. But you're operating from abundance. You're operating from a place of knowing your worth and not needing to prove it by diminishing anyone else. The Queen of Pentacles is also about self-care and creating a beautiful life for yourself. So as you move away from this drama and these manipulations, you're going to focus more on your own well-being, your own goals, your own peace. You're going to nurture yourself and your dreams. You're going to create stability and comfort in your life. And that's the best revenge, isn't it? Not engaging with the nonsense, but instead building something so solid and beautiful that what anyone else is doing becomes irrelevant. This card is also telling me that you're going to be fine financially and materially. If there's been any worry about resources or security related to this situation, the Queen of Pentacles is saying you're protected and you're going to thrive. Ace of Cups came through, and Pisces, this card is so beautiful in this reading because it represents new emotional beginnings, pure love, and emotional fulfillment. After dealing with someone who's been trying to pollute your emotional space with their fears and doubts, the Ace of Cups is offering you a clean slate emotionally. This is like the universe handing you a cup filled with pure, fresh, healing water and saying, drink this, let it cleanse you, let it renew you. The Ace of Cups often appears when new love is coming, but it doesn't have to be romantic love. It can be a new friendship, a deeper connection with family, a renewed sense of love for yourself, or a spiritual love and connection. What I'm seeing for you is that as you free yourself from this manipulative dynamic, you're going to open up emotionally in a new way. You're going to be ready to give and receive love more freely because you won't be carrying the heaviness of someone else's projections. The Ace of Cups is also about forgiveness and compassion. Not forgiveness that means you let this person continue their behavior, but the kind of forgiveness that frees you, where you recognize that their actions came from their own pain and woundedness, and you release the need to carry anger or resentment about it. You're going to reach a place of emotional peace where what they did no longer has power over you. This card is showing me that your heart is healing and opening. Whatever fears or doubts they tried to plant in you, those are dissolving. Whatever blockage existed in your emotional flow, it's clearing. The Ace of Cups represents that pure, unblocked emotional energy returning to you. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more optimistic about connections and relationships. You're going to trust your emotional instincts again fully. This card is such a gift because it's promising you that this situation isn't going to leave you hardened or closed off. Instead, you're going to emerge with an even more open and loving heart, but with better boundaries and more wisdom about who deserves access to that heart. Four of Pentacles showed up last, and at first I wondered about this card, because Four of Pentacles is often about holding on tightly, about control, about fear of loss. But then I understood what the cards were telling me. This card is actually describing the other person's energy, not yours. The Four of Pentacles is showing me that the person who's been trying to manipulate you, who's been planting fears and doubts, they're operating from a place of scarcity and control. They're holding on so tightly to something, whether it's their perception of events, their need to be right, their fear of losing something or someone, that they've become rigid and defensive. They're so focused on maintaining control that they're actually blocking their own blessings and their own growth. And here's what's fascinating about this card appearing in this position. You asked about there being a blockage and you being the one who frees it. The Four of Pentacles is confirming that yes, there is a blockage, but it's not your blockage. It's theirs. They've created this blockage through their fear-based behavior, through their need to control situations and people, through their inability to let go and trust. And you're going to free them from it, but not in the way they might want or expect. You're going to free them by not playing their game anymore, by not allowing yourself to be controlled or manipulated, by maintaining your boundaries and your emotional sovereignty. When you do that, when you refuse to be part of their fear-based dynamic, you essentially force them to face their own stuff. You remove yourself as a target for their projections. And that leaves them with no choice but to look at why they're so afraid, why they're so controlling, why they feel the need to manipulate. That's how you free the blockage. Not by fixing them or saving them or convincing them of anything, but by being so solid in yourself that their tactics don't work anymore. And when their tactics don't work, they'll either have to evolve and address their own issues, or they'll have to find someone else to project onto. Either way, you'll be free of it. The Four of Pentacles is also a reminder for you not to hold on too tightly to this situation or to any resentment about it. Let it go. Don't grip onto the anger or the hurt. Don't try to control how this person sees you or what they think. Just release it all and trust that the universe has handled the justice part, which we saw with the Justice card earlier. So let me bring this all together for you, Pisces, because the story these cards told is so complete and so powerful. You've been dealing with someone who's been operating in the shadows, trying to create confusion and plant doubts in your mind or in someone else's mind about you. The Moon and Seven of Swords confirmed that yes, this has been happening and it's been subtle and sneaky. But here's what's beautiful about this reading. Every single card after that is showing me that not only are you aware of what's going on, but you're handling it with incredible emotional maturity and wisdom. The King of Cups shows you maintaining your composure and your emotional center. The Queen of Pentacles shows you staying grounded and focused on building your own stability. The Star shows you staying connected to hope and higher guidance. Justice shows that there will be a reckoning and truth will come out. The World shows you completing this chapter with wisdom and grace. Eight of Wands shows everything resolving quickly. Ace of Cups shows your heart healing and opening to new emotional beginnings. And Four of Pentacles shows that the blockage is theirs, not yours. And by being who you are, you're actually creating the conditions for that blockage to dissolve. You are absolutely the one who frees the blockage, Pisces. But not by fighting or by matching their energy, by being so completely yourself, so emotionally mature, so grounded, so connected to your truth, that their manipulations simply bounce off you. And when that happens, when you refuse to absorb their projections, the blockage they've created in themselves becomes impossible to ignore. They'll have to deal with it. You're teaching through example. You're healing through your presence. You're freeing the situation through your refusal to participate in fear-based dynamics. The cards are telling me this is resolving soon. The truth is coming out. You're about to feel so much clearer and lighter. And whatever this person has been trying to do, it's not going to succeed because you're protected by your own emotional wisdom and by the universe itself. I hope this reading brought you some clarity and some peace. If you felt this resonated with your situation, I'd love to hear about it. Take care of yourself, Pisces. You're doing better than you think you are.